round will be on for a total of 10 minutes. I will ask for every single person here who is not actually in the debate to quiet. Not only will you be able to hear, make it very exciting, but also it means that we have a recording which will only have the voice of those people debating and not somebody chatting in the background. So, this round will be for 10 minutes, and your time starts now.
Can we just confirm that this is actually about the fact that should we live in an open society? So therefore, for example, when you're older and you've got children, at the moment they have like a list which is allowed to be published about who's on the paedophilia list. So are you saying that when you've got children, would you not want to know that information so that, for example, so then you don't know who's a risk to your family?
Appreciate what you're saying, especially paedophilia, but there's actually people that have been murdered because they're on the sex offenders register just for underage sex, but they've been murdered because people thought they were paedophiles or rapists, and there's been some serious consequences about that list being published.
The legal system is in place to protect us and has its own legislative steps. I'd like to trust that police and the law system will deal with sex offenders in a way they see fit. You don't need a neighbourhood guard for that.
Appreciate what you're saying as well about paedophilia, and I think that's quite a mass scale thing, but imagine, if you will, if I now ask you to share with this entire room everything you have done in the last week, everything.
But
are you willing to do that?
The thing is, if you've got nothing to hide, why should you worry?
Everyone has something to hide.
What's wrong with living a life where you don't hide anything? Like you live an innocent life. You live the correct life. Like you should like people who believe in in God or believe in religion live this type of life because they believe that God is constantly
if I could stop you there, what you're describing is a utopia, so a completely open society, a perfect society, and utopias are things that don't exist.
Did I describe utopia?
That's basically an open society, completely open society would be utopian.
I was talking about religion.
I'm talking about religion, I'm talking about an open society.
Personal choice of lifestyle. But I think what this debate is all about is on a more political and worldwide scale, just for the purposes of.
But then it almost brings you down to the point of, in life, it doesn't matter what religion you believe, everyone, or what law is in place. At the end of the day, you are entitled to free will. So surely you should be allowed to voice your opinion on things. At the end of the day, it's like people that post their opinions on, for example, how corrupt their government is. It's an opinion, and so you're saying that you're not allowed to have an opinion now.
No, you're not to have an opinion. You're allowed to choose to also keep things to yourself. If you so wish to share,
exactly, but it's a choice. So they're choosing to express it.
Exactly. But that doesn't mean that you have to be forced to share everything with everybody else. A lifestyle, religion. That's admirable for the people who practice it, but it's a choice.
If I could ask you very quickly, would you pay to see a play where the actors hadn't rehearsed once? The answer is going to be no, and the reason that's going to be no is it's not going to be any good. If you think of politicians, governments, presidents, whatever you want, think of them as actors. They have to make plans to solve world problems, and these plans aren't something they just come up with. They do take practice. Imagine one of these plans in its initial stages was leaked. Imagine the consequences of that. Different things mean different things all over the world.
Yeah, exactly.
This is going to cause global tension if this happens.
The people would know exactly what was going on, and they wouldn't be hidden, and they wouldn't be unaware of what is going on in the world. They'd know exactly what is going on, and they'd know it down to every little planet.
I think more harm is going to be caused by doing this than how good it will be when it happens.
Everybody be involved in what's going on in their lives instead of somebody controlling everything and hiding things and letting
certainly
people
the personal life of a politician. We have to understand that we can't go crazy, neurotic and untrusting of every part of our society. It's like a crazy boyfriend. But imagine having 7 billion of them.
Imagine having 7 billion crazy boyfriends who want to know what you're doing all the time, where you are, why you're doing it.
And how would you live?
That's what this is going to be.
How would you live?
You wouldn't. That's what's going to happen if an open society occurs.
You live completely innocently. You wouldn't do anything wrong, and you would live by
I think this is just going to make people.
Can we also just bring it away from boyfriends and weird comments like this? Basically, bring it away from any kind of, for example, politics and things, and bring it back to the question: the fact that it should be living in an open society.
Okay, I'm going to say no.
I just need to understand my point here. That basically, how if you share an idea, it can be developed further. So if you just kept an idea to yourself, how I know if you're going to progress it? For example, if someone may have a slight idea, maybe curing cancer. I know it's a bit far-fetched, but maybe you've got one element, someone else might have the other element, which will then bring that argument together, and which will then
but they take
true.
time.
So you're agreeing with us.
So you're talking about cancer, but what if it was about how to solve a war, and something gets leaked about your initial idea on how to solve that war? It could make it worse.
But yeah, that's
it could make that war worse. More harm is going to be caused by doing this than good.
Can we just stop us then, because we can't even hear each other speak?
Yes, I agree.
If you have a point to make.
So what were you saying?
I was saying that people should be able to know about new developments and know about new causes are going to help like cure cancer. Like it shouldn't be.
But you're only talking about the good. What about the bad that gets leaked? We're talking about on a mass scale as well. But this is going to filter down.
Like paedophiles, then you stay away from them and you don't go near them. And
but then you might. But you might also decide you're going to kill them, which is what's happened.
Sorry, I couldn't hear between two.
People have been killed. People have been murdered.
Maybe certain people like paedophiles, like it should be. People should know who they are, and you should know if one lives down the street. Like you should
and then
know
go and kill them because that's happened. That's happened.
That information being shared.
No, but it's happened. People have been killed, murdered, attacked because they're on the sex offenders register.
That happens on a daily basis. That's not just because they're on a list.
And it's going to happen more if we live in an open society.
Where's your proof?
Because it's happened already. It's in the news. It's already happened. These people.
If we lived in an open society, the people that had killed those paedophiles, people would be aware of their situation. Maybe they've got medical issues. Maybe they're massively against paedophiles. Like there's going to be certain things that living in an open society will solve problems of people killing paedophiles.
It's going to cause more problems than it will solve. Far more.
No,
so basically, if someone had like a secret about you, but you didn't they wouldn't tell you what it is, would you be happy about that?
They would share it. They wouldn't have a choice.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's living in an open society, so they'd be sharing a secret about you.
Right now, if you, like you said earlier, you want to strip this back to a basic argument. Right now, are you willing to share everything with everyone in this room about yourself, about everything you've done?
Nothing to hide.
You've got nothing to hide.
You don't have a right to have privacy and
but an open
intimacy.
society isn't saying that you've got to spill out everything that's in your head.
Yes, it is.
Well.
Completely open society.
No,
Everything is open. Everything is.
If I've got a secret in my head, I can keep it in my head because it's my secret.
But it's an open society. That's not how it works on the level of government.
Paedophiles and things that should be shared with the.
We're just talking about positive. Bad things will happen if we live in an open society. You can only, if you just focus on the positive, of course it's going to sound good, but terrible things will happen. Information will get leaked that will cause problems, that will cause war, that will cause murder, death.
Because it's an open society. It's not a leak.
That's what WikiLeaks does. That's what WikiLeaks does. It publishes and intercepts information that's exchanged between people of high standing. They don't really care about what we've got on our Facebooks or what secrets we have in our heads.
Exactly, but it's your choice to put all your own information on Facebook.
But that shouldn't be something that's forced.
In an open society, it's not going to be your choice, is it?
Information on this.
If you live in an open, it's not your choice. It's an open society. Everything's open. All information is available to all people all the time. It's not a choice. In fact, you don't even have a choice.
So it's equal. Instead of these leaks that are happening at the moment, which people aren't choosing, everyone wouldn't have a choice. So it would be equal. So it would be an equal
society. It's not just going to cause mass hysteria. If all of the information is
no,
available all the time, you won't trust any corporation, any business. You won't trust anyone with your money.
You will, because you can see everything.
No, because bad stuff will get leaked too.
In an open society, if it was a completely open society, it would be the norm. So people would live by that and they would know about that.
Means
that
it's going to be the norm overnight.
Any
so it's going to happen.
Any communications between one country and another get intercepted by the whole world. All the confidential information, diplomatic immunity, which is in place for a reason, would be it would be pointless.
Yeah, but then maybe we would live as a world instead of living as a country.
You have to live
like think about global warming, like things that are kept secrets because people don't want to talk about it, or people hide away because things like these issues are happening. If a world had an open society and we was all living together and we was all living as a world and we was going to solve
working together.
Yeah, and we was working together to solve problems like this. You can't not.
But you're only focusing on the positive.
It is because it's predicting an attitude that you have no indication that will be that. You're predicting good faith in people. Whether or not it's an open society, you can have people with good attitudes or bad attitudes.
Yeah, people are bad. There are bad people who would do bad things.
That's the same with
the same that they do at the moment.
People are good and people are bad.
Exactly, and you're only focusing on the
positive. And then by having an open society, you've got a fairer judgment of who's who.
Yeah, it's
because otherwise,
people who are bad can hide, like paedophiles.
No, they can't on an open society in the same way that good people are exposed all the time as well. You are exposed to all people all the time, and everything you do will be exposed. And you don't have a choice. You're saying you have a choice. You don't. It's a completely open society. You don't have a choice. Everything you do is available to everyone, and everyone knows.
Exactly. Good.
That's good.
Yeah.
So you want everyone to know everything you do.
Because it's not everything you do, is it?
It's a completely open society.
It's like medical information and things like that, like things that are going to help other people.
It's a completely open society. Everyone will know.
Oh, so everyone is going to know that, I have thought in my head.
No, but everyone around you will know. If you know anyone that has AIDS, everyone will know they have AIDS. How is that fair?
Well, then surely, but that's surely a good thing because then it will stop the spread. Because then people won't go like
that. Is not that.
I know it's a backwards way of looking at it, but surely it's kind of
because someone with AIDS knows that they have it, and they have the personal choice to tell someone. That should be, as you said,
But if it was an open society, then that would just be the way, and that would be the norm, and people would live with that, and other people would.
You can't predict people's actions
more people to support that person because there'd be more people knowing about this.
But so much damage is going to be caused in trying to make a society completely open. You're talking about this if we just flicked a switch and it happened. No, there would be so much damage caused trying to make a society open. It's not worth it.
Society. It's just about living in an open society. It's not saying, oh, this is how I'm going to make the society open and it's going to happen in a switch. I've not said that. I'm talking about the question earlier. And if we also live in an open society, it would mean that people would have the right to know things that they should know, that should be accessible to them.
But also people won't have the right to withhold information that could cause
problems.
If you
lived down the street with a paedophile and your child was running down the street and you had absolutely no idea how
and he's offering them sweets and
you mentioned that point earlier. You mentioned that point earlier and I said, I'd like to know, but I might also go and kill them, which is, again, that's happened due to this information being open to everyone.
Yeah, and if it was an open society, people might know your personality and how you react to that.
Why does it have to be an open? Why do people have to know where a sex offender
Stop! Okay, judges, I'm going space to kind of gather your thoughts. The winner will be revealed in 2 minutes' time.